per shot. So, for the prepping, I don't know. Oop. Damn it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Needle Workshop. My name is Emily and today I'll be presenting a tutorial for our newest cosplay pattern, the square neckline tunic. As some of you might already know, we already had a tunic available online, but we'll be expanding our repertoire of tunics in the next few months. We have 2 more models lined up for release. These won't have a full video tutorial, but you can refer yourself to this one for the rough guidelines. All our patterns will be available in XS to 4XL. And as per usual, all our patterns will still come with super detailed written tutorials that includes tons of extra info that you won't find in a video, such as a measurement guide, a printing guide, some material suggestions, and tons of pictures and graphics to help you through the tutorial. As always, we recommend making a mock-up before starting. No 2 bodies are the same, so making a mock-up always allows you to tweak and adjust the pattern to make sure it fits just right for you before using your more expensive material. Also important to note is that all our seam allowances for this pattern are 1 cm wide unless specified otherwise. And now, without any further ado, let's get started. Before starting, make sure to overlock the hem of your front and back tunic pieces along with the front and back facings. Right side to right side, align your front and back tunic pieces and sew them together at the shoulder 1 cm from the edge. You'll need to iron your seam allowance open. Making sure that you interfaced your facing first, align them right side to right side as well and sew them together at the shoulders 1 cm from the edge. Once again, make sure to iron your seam allowance open. Right side to right side, align the tunic and facing together at the neckline and sew all around 1 cm from the edge. To help you get the front point just right, you can always draw out your seam allowance. Here's an added little trick. You can reinforce each corner by stitching that section twice. It is particularly handy when securing the front corner. Afterwards, you'll want to cut notches into each concave corner, including at the front, without cutting into your stitch. You'll then cut the seam allowance of your facing by half to remove some bulk at the neckline. You'll want to go all around the neckline. Make sure to also cut off all excess seam allowance at all the convex corner. Last but not least, cut some notches into the curved area of the neckline. Before turning your facing inside out, you'll need to sew the facing to the seam allowance around the neckline 3 mm from the seam. Make sure to sew all around or as much as possible. Here's what that would look like when done. Now turn your facing towards the inside of the tunic and iron the neckline flat. Next, you'll want to stitch the tunic and facing together at the armhole 7 mm from the edge. Moving on to the sleeves, here's a sewing tip from Gabrielle. She recommends ironing the hem of the sleeve before moving on to the sewing section. The hem should be ironed in by 2 cm. Right side to right side, align your sleeves to the armhole of the tunic. You have a center notch that aligns with the seam of the tunic, and then a single notch at the front, and a double notch at the back. Sew together 1 cm from the edge and then overlock. Iron the seam allowance towards the sleeve. Overlock all the side seams of your sleeves and tunic. Right side to right side, align the tunic front and back together at the side seam. And sew 1 cm from the edge starting from the sleeve all the way down to the notch. The notch will be found a little halfway at the side seam. Iron the seam allowance open and at the lower side seam, iron the edge in by 1 cm. To finish the hem of your sleeve, overlock the hem first and then either use your iron fold as a guidance or iron your hem in by 2 cm and top stitch into place. Once again, you can iron the hem of your tunic in by 3 cm and use your fold as a guiding line. Then, using the notch that indicates the fold of the hem as guidance, right side to right side, fold the hem outwards and sew in place at the side seam. Turn this section towards the inside and push out your corner. Next, top stitch the open side seam and the hem of the tunic in place with a straight stitch. The side seam will be top stitched 8 mm from the edge and the hem will be top stitched 2.8 cm from the edge. And with that, you are done. Here's a look at what the final piece looks like. Like I said earlier, we have some more tunic models coming out in the next few months, so make sure to stay tuned on our social media to see the announcement when they come out. I think that covers everything for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like these kind of videos, and make sure to comment down below if you want to help boost the algorithm. And as always, you can follow us on any of our socials and tag us in your projects if you'd like for us to see and share your work. So yep, I hope this video is helpful, and as always, good luck with your projects, guys. Bye bye.